Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive into what might be, the single most efficient warning ever written about impatience and money. We're talking Proverbs 20.21.
That's right.
But we're not just reading a line of text. We have this really unique source that breaks it down through a powerful, almost visceral visual story. It's like a mnemonic device, but, as a narrative.
It's ancient wisdom that functions like a modern infographic, really. And the core theme is just so clear. The profound danger of chasing wealth or big success prematurely or, too hastily.
It's a structural warning.
It is. The source is very clear that when you rush the beginning, you basically compromise the entire integrity of the success itself.
So our mission today is to walk through this mnemonic map piece by piece and see how the story, the language, and these unforgettable images really lock this lesson into your memory. It all kicks off with our main character and her disastrous choice.
Indeed. We start with this ambitious female fox, a vixen, who in this whole allegorical setup is linked to the number 20. She's just inherited the family business, a big deal, but she's just consumed by this drive to get ahead. She doesn't want the slow, measured pace of a proper succession. She wants everything, and she wants it now.
And she decides to forcibly get her hands on this legendary inheritance, the naḥălāh, before it's actually her time.
Exactly. And the way she does it is the key part. It's tied to number 21, the nail.
Right, the nail.
Yeah.
She doesn't just dig or, use a normal tool. She specifically brings a giant iron nail.
A giant iron nail, and she thrusts it violently into the earth. It's a symbol of impatience, of brute force taking the place of process.
So she's rejecting the patient waiting.
Yeah.
All the required steps.
All of it. She's substituting it with this attempt to just use sheer force to literally pry open her success. It's the most aggressive shortcut imaginable.
And you have to wonder, right, if you have to use a nail to rip open your future, what kind of future is that going to be? She's trying to build on leverage, not legitimacy.
And that is the entire point the allegory is hammering home. It forces you to ask a really important question about any venture. What is the lasting structural cost of ignoring due process to get that quick, explosive win?
If your foundation is just impatience, how long can that building really stand?
Precisely.
Let's zoom in on the words themselves, because this is where the source gets incredibly detailed. The first key term is the prize she's after, the inheritance itself.
Yes, that's the Hebrew word naḥălāh. It means inheritance, possession, the property she's so desperate to get.
And in the story, the visual for this is...
It's a dazzling golden key that emerges from the ground where she struck it. This key is supposed to unlock generations of prosperity, but it was only meant for the right heir at the right time.
I always find the etymology here so fascinating. What's the deeper root of that word, naḥălāh?
Well, it connects directly to the root for stream, which is nel, and this detail is so important. Historically, a stream or a brook was the most common natural landmark used to define a boundary for an inherited plot of land.
So the naḥălāh is supposed to be this clearly bounded, stable, secure inheritance.
Exactly. And by ripping it out of the ground with a nail, she is, in that single action, destroying the integrity of its boundaries. She's destroying its stability.
Wow. So she gets the key, but she loses the stream boundary. She's gaining the prize, but sabotaging the very structure that makes it valuable.
Precisely. Which brings us to the next key phrase, the one describing her action. implied. It means hurriedly obtained or acting in haste.
And the symbol for this?
The moment the key is pulled free, a fierce, warning fire erupts from its surface.
That fire is the immediate, visceral criticism of what she just did. It's literally too hot to handle.
It connects perfectly to the linguistic root, bāhal, which means to be alarmed, to rush, or even to panic. The visual mnemonic for this root is always chaos, like a scene where people are evacuating because of a fire. Her success is literally born in heat and panic.
I think we've all seen modern versions of that, haven't we? That chaotic, fiery success. You think about a startup that scales way too fast. Hiring hundreds of people before the business model's even proven. Or, an individual who gets viral fame overnight and just can't handle the pressure. They've grabbed the golden key, but the foundation is just panic and heat.
The structure isn't sound. They're operating in a state of bāhal, not stability.
And the setting for this whole drama, it just reinforces this idea that the beginning is what matters most. We're talking about the word barishna, which means at first or in the beginning.
Right. And the stage is set on a volcano or a mountain summit. This is the head, the root of the land. It's the place where the family's history, their entire venture, began.
So if that beginning is flawed,
Then the end is predetermined. The mountain is like a silent witness. If the very start of your venture is founded on a violent, self-serving mistake like that iron nail, then every single step that follows is going to be distorted. It's unstable.
You just can't build long-term stability on a brittle foundation of haste. Let's pivot now to that outcome. We need to shift focus to the concept of the end, the consequences that have to follow.
So we move to the word hurried, which translates to "and its end," or its latter part. And the symbol here is, well, it's strikingly simple, almost domestic. It's a backpack, a rucksack, that's been carelessly discarded near the edge of the crater.
A backpack. Something so familiar. Why is that the symbol for the end?
Because that backpack represents the path she has traveled, but more importantly, the heavy future, the end that she's now going to have to carry. It's worn, it's heavy, it signifies a burden.
And the word itself.
The word itself, ri, is rooted in the idea of being after or behind, which is hurt. So the consequences are literally what follow behind you. They're what you have to carry on your back.
So the thing defining her future is something she already neglected and just tossed aside near that destructive fire. That's an incredibly clear link between her actions and what's coming next.
And then we finally find out what's inside that backpack. This requires the last two symbols. The negation, lu, which means no or not, and the blessing, ergi, will be blessed.
Okay, so what does the absence of a blessing actually look like in this story?
The negation first appears as this chilling black silhouette peeking out of the backpack. It's a void, an absence of everything you'd expect. No light, no color, no joy. It's the proof that the positive result is law. That's just not there.
And the tragic reveal.
Yeah.
The silhouette turns out to be the symbol of what should have been the blessing.
Yes. The silhouette is revealed to be a blackened, wilted sunflower. That's the symbol for Einshra, the blessing. A sunflower should be vibrant, turning toward the sun, receiving that blessing of light.
But this one is lifeless, cursed.
Withered and dead. The foundation was brittle, the acquisition was chaotic, and the result is the immediate death of all that potential.
So is the tragedy that she loses the key in the end? Or is it that the key itself becomes worthless because the whole structure around it just failed?
The source material suggests it's both. But primarily it's internal to the success itself. The story ends with the vixen enjoying a very temporary success. She's holding the burning key. But because her foundation was that iron nail force and panic, the entire business structure was just too brittle. Her plans collapse. Her wealth scatters like sand. Her admirers leave. She still has the key, but it's now described as just gold and heavy. It lost all its value, its vibrancy.
That is the ultimate takedown of the get-rich-quick mentality, isn't it? You might get the symbols of wealth, but if you bypass the process, you just gain the appearance of success without any of the resilience.
Exactly. This ancient wisdom is really a mnemonic guide for structural integrity. The success you get from impatience and force, it just lacks the strength to survive any real pressure. It's not just a moral tale about greed, it's a practical manual on sound construction.
Let's talk about how this applies today, because this idea of a hasty inheritance is everywhere. We live in a world that just lionizes fast growth, immediate returns, viral fame. Where do we see the vixen's iron nail now?
Oh, constantly. In any area where people mistake speed for quality. I mean, look at startup culture, which is obsessed with unicorn status, hitting that billion-dollar valuation in record time. If that valuation is just built on hype and leverage and burning through cash instead of, a sustainable business model, that is the iron nail being driven into the ground. They have a golden key, but the fire of chaos is already erupting.
Or what about the overnight celebrity, someone who gets massive fame without ever developing the emotional or professional foundation to handle it? They're suddenly holding this huge inheritance of attention.
And because it came through viral haste, not years of work, it just burns them up. That's the wilted sunflower, the blessing, the fame, the wealth. It withers right away because the roots are too shallow to absorb all that light and heat.
We see it in market bubbles, too. The person who jumps into a crypto craze or a meme stock because of FOMO.
Desperate to get rich by next Tuesday.
Exactly. They're driving that nail. They're bypassing all the due diligence, the patient work that's required for any kind of lasting wealth. The vixen bypassed the stream boundary, that definition of stable property, for a quick, undefined grab.
So the lesson for you really is to always check the integrity of your actions first. It's not about how quickly you can get the key, but how well you've prepared the ground to actually receive it. Look past the immediate win. If you had to use force or panic, that feeling of bāhal, to get that success, then the structure of that success is inherently fragile.
True prosperity requires patience, integrity, and a foundation built on proper boundaries, like that naḥălāh derived from the stable stream. This is such a powerful lesson, and it's rendered so clearly through these 6 symbols. Just a quick recap of the core proverb. Inheritance obtained hastily at first will not be blessed in the end. So what does this all mean for you as you approach your next big goal?
It means success isn't just about what you get. It's about how you build the foundation to support it. If you build it slowly, securely, that structure can withstand real-world pressure. If you rush it, you are guaranteed that heavy, cold key in the end.
So here's something for you to consider. As you navigate this world that's always pushing for faster growth and immediate returns, where is your iron nail? Are you pursuing a foundation built on patience and a proven process, or are you trying to violently pry open a premature success? What enduring foundation are you risking when you choose chaos and haste over integrity?